Wouldn't life be boring without hormones? The chemicals of love that interest us this evening are those surging through the arteries of our beautiful native roe deer. It has been a stinking hot day, but we're promised storms later. If it's a bit muggy, we should have a good reaction to the call. Roy has this bit of land in Hampshire that he hasn't touched for 12 months. He's on the lookout for a special buck which he hopes hasn't either been had by a neighbour or been pushed out by the sheep. Roe and Roy hate sheep, and he fears deer numbers will be down as a result.
When you walk through a sheep field, it smells quite badly, and it must taint the grass as well and the grazing. So when you've got fields like that, particularly with roe, you might see roe crossing through them, and you might see young bucks that have been pushed out of territories that are searching around in a sheep field. But you know, the main bulk of your roe will be well away from them.
We start the stalk along a manicured ride and within 5 minutes spot a young doe. She is intoxicated by the call and comes back time and time again. Roy tries to push her away from where we want to end up so that she doesn't spook his buck before we get there. It doesn't quite work.
Just had the doe come out here. I just spotted her behind the long grass, and so we just had a little bit of a play with her just to have a better look at her and see what was going on. So she responded a little bit to the call, was curious, and so she's not sure what was going on really or what we were. Ideally I wanted her to go that way, so I suppose I should have just not played with her and let her go, but unfortunately she's gone back up to where we want to stalk. But that's no big deal. We'll have a look up there, and hopefully she'll come back and feed down this way.
We carry on, and again the doe is in evidence. We have to be careful. Disturbing all the other deer would be a real pain. Roy calls again. There's a commotion and our doe comes charging through the undergrowth. We're so taken by her antics we don't realise there's a buck that's sidled up to us, just a few yards off to the right. Roy stops him with a call. It's not the buck he was after, but he's a good one to take.
Isn't it amazing though? We'd stalked all through this bit of ground, and the doe went off being chased by a buck here, and then that other buck came in directly behind us. Came in, unfortunately he made us because we were looking that way, and then went off, managed to stop him with the call again, and there he is, we got him. So not a bad result. The old heart's still ticking. I love this.
We cross to the other side of the ground and find another couple of crazy does. It's astonishing and wonderful to see wildlife so close. Roy is able to manipulate their behaviour with his bootaloo. Again, they're so revved up that Roy has to try and stop them disturbing possible unseen bucks further along the wood.
Is there a buck there?
No.
After a fabulous performance by Roy and the does, we head across to another block of land in the hope of getting another buck. The light is fading fast, and again a doe shows herself. This time she has 2 kids with her. She charges across to us, then goes for the woods. It's been a real privilege to see these animals at such close range, and the end of July and beginning of August is the time to do it. It's just a shame that the girls want to play more than the boys. However, 2 days earlier it had been a different ballgame. Roy and his friend Andy filmed these bucks coming to the call on this same farm. When they're in the mood, they're in the mood, and our very own Dr. Doolittle doesn't stop with deer. On the way home we hear a tawny owl. Roy clears his throat and joins in. The owl comes to have a look. It's not what you've got, it's how you use it.